Good afternoon, South Africa. Welcome to Afternoon Express. It's a brand new week and we're very excited to be on the show with you today because we are going to be celebrating an incredible life and living into that legacy today on the show. My name is Danilo Aquis and hope you had a great weekend. Big ups to everybody who came down to the Cape Town auditions for Presenter Search On3. It was lovely to meet all of you and to see the incredible talent Cape Town has to offer. Durban and Johannesburg, your chances are coming very, very soon. Now, coming up on the show today, we sit down with South African poet and entrepreneur Bulelwa Base. Her work has been published by numerous platforms, including the Poetry Institute of Africa and Oprah Magazine. She is also the founder of Sisters in Solidarity South Africa, an organization which empowers women through skills and career development and financial education as well through workshops. Now, because it's a Motivational Monday, we've invited professional boxer and chef Sterling Shaw to show us a quick workout routine and a delicious meal, a meat-free meal for us to follow that's completely meat-free because it's a meat-free Monday. But first up, she was born in Nigeria and moved to the US with her mother at the age of 11. From a young age, she was destined to be a star after winning Miss Teen Los Angeles and modeling for some of the biggest fashion brands in the world. She pursued her first love of acting. As a performer, she starred in a number of massive productions, such as the comedy horror series Ash vs. Evil Dead and the popular new drama Free Form, Famous in Love. It's Pepi Shonuga.
Heard you were back in town. Took you a while to get here.
Yeah, well, I've had other things on my mind.
Forgive me if I thought apologizing to your boyfriend for sleeping with his best friend might be a priority.
You know, I'm pretty sure to be someone's boyfriend, you need to actually see them. If you had any decency, you would be apologizing to me.
For what?
For the dozen hookups you've had since I've been gone. God, for you never even cared about me or what I needed.
What did you need, Tangi? Jordan?
You still don't get it. You know, Jordan's 10 times the man that you are. And you lost to me way before I slept with him. You're just too focused on yourself to realize it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the incredibly beautiful Pepi, welcome to Afternoon Express.
Thank you for having me.
What a cool role. Obviously, that Famous in Love was such a big moment for you, right?
I love it. I'm so happy on that show. Yeah.
Because you get to play that sort of like, angry.
I get to play, she's like super feisty, but very talented and focused, and she's really the kind of woman who I wanted to be like when I was growing up. So I love that I get to be a positive role model on TV.
And obviously today in South Africa, I mean, over the last couple of weeks, we've been mourning the loss of the Mama of Africa, and she was also a very incredibly powerful woman, and I love the fact that you're trying to represent that as well in the roles that you bring on. I'm so excited to go back to the beginning of young you, because what a life you had. Obviously, you grew up in Nigeria, right?
Yes.
Then at the age of 11, everything changed from there. What was life like before the age of 11?
Life was beautiful. I love my country so much. You know, my mom and we moved around a lot. I lived with my grandfather in the village for a year, and then I moved with my grandmother in Lagos, Surulere area. And so I've just had all sorts of different experiences because my mom was a flight attendant traveling all sorts of places, couldn't always be with me at the time. So I've had a very crazy and interesting life. Yeah.
Especially at that formative stage of your life where you're trying to form your own identity and you're trying to bond with people close by. To not have Mama nearby is difficult, I'd imagine.
Yes.
And then at the age of 11, she decided, well, I think it was time for you to come and spend with Mama, time for you to spend time with Mama.
That's when we could. That's when she said, you know, because the plan was that she was getting her life sorted out and then she would come back for me and we could really just start it together. So that was when she really could afford to financially and done with school and just felt freer. So we made the move to the United States, and then it was me and my mom. Like,
all the way.
Yes.
She's like your best friend. It sounds like you.
She's my best friend. Yeah.
The difference in lifestyle. I mean, I don't know if you remember what it's like to be 11 years old and being welcomed to the big bad world of the United States of America. Do you get a sense of the contrast?
There is a huge contrast, definitely. But you know, I think when I first came here, in retrospect, I had this innate feeling that the rest of my life was about to start, you know? I just knew that was where I was meant to be. So yeah, I was really nervous, I was terrified, I didn't really fit in, but there was this thing inside of me that was like, this is my life, this is a new adventure, and I'm gonna go out and get it. So.
I'm sure your mom must have been quite like hard on you with that stuff because you wanted to rein it in all the time. Like, be careful, girl, you don't understand what this big bad world is like.
Yes, my mom was my mom is young, my mom is a young mom, so she's very fun and very open-minded, but when it came to my upbringing, especially because she was a single mom, she was very adamant about, I think, a little sheltered. I think she sheltered me a little bit. She wouldn't say that, but I think, you know, she was very, she didn't want different people influencing me.
I'm sure.
So I couldn't sleep over at people's houses all the time. It was like, bring your friends over here. You know, I don't know who you're dealing with. So when I was a child, I was very much like, Mom, I need to mingle. I need to get to know these people and they need to know me. But now as an adult, those days where she wouldn't let me spend the night with this friend and that friend, that's really what formed this career that I have. That's when I started to write and to make videos, and you know, I had a little talk show in high school, and I would, you know,
on MySpace. You guys remember MySpace? Oh my word!
On MySpace, I would spam all my friends in their comments and say, "Watch my show." I had the banner and everything, the Peppy show. I would have guests come on, but I would have never gotten to do these things
if you didn't have time at home.
If I didn't have that time. So, yeah.
What do you think it was that was her fear of you hanging out with people she didn't know?
Losing my values.
But what could you have lost? What were those values that you could have lost?
First, on the surface level, just respect for elders. The things that we, you know, Africans try to drill into their children. Respect for your elders, the way you greet people. The things that American kids don't necessarily deal with. You know what I mean? There were times where I would come home and like, well, my American friends don't have to do that. Why do I have to do that? So she's just always trying to teach me that, like, you're not that. This is your life, and you need to embrace that. And it's, you know, don't feel weird about saying, could you increase the volume instead of saying, can you turn it up? You know? So she definitely tried to make me feel comfortable in who I was.
And what was so cool about, like you said now, those moments there, you can always learn from any scenario in your life, and you kind of got given the opportunity then to start exploring how do I express myself then if I can't do it amongst my friends and you know, be out of the house. You started that show on MySpace, and that's when all your friends were still playing sport and, you know, going to piano lessons. Was there a sense that you felt like you were always going to be different?
Yeah, I think so. I think as a child it was very confusing because I knew I had this plan for my life, but it could be isolating. It can be very isolating. When you're a child with a dream and a child with like conviction of what you want to do, it isolates you a lot from your peers because you start to realize that you're not thinking the same things that other people are thinking. But it's weird. Even though you are thinking good things, you feel bad about it. You feel like something is wrong with me. Why can't I just hang out? And, you know, so that I felt very isolated a lot in my childhood. But I always knew that something was meant to happen. I didn't know what, but I knew.
And now we know. Now we know. And it's only just beginning. I think that's what the exciting part about your journey is. It's only just beginning. You've clearly got this personality. You walk into a room. When I walked in this afternoon and I saw you obviously in the studio today, and there's just something about you that screams that you're going to be a star.
Thank you.
You've got that star personality about you.
Thank you.
I just never, obviously, no one wants you to lose your roots. There's something so unique about who you are. I was scrolling through Instagram and I saw a video of you dancing around.
Oh my God.
Which is so cool. So do you still remember a lot of your past? Take a look. There you go. You never want to lose this.
No, this was like, what, 2 months ago? We were at a party. My mom was like, you have to come with me to this party. She made me an outfit and everything. Yeah, this is how we get down.
It's awesome. But I mean, how do you manage to remain true to who you are? What is true? What is a global citizen nowadays? What does it mean to be African anyway when you're living in such a globalized world?
You know,
for you.
I think how I've managed to stay so true is because my mother, first of all, but then somewhere during my teenage years, I wanted to be. It's like a conscious decision to just embrace my people, because at that point I started to feel very separated from it. And it's like, I don't fit in here in America. I am American, I have this accent, but there's always this barrier. There's things that I just don't understand, I can't get from childhood that they talk about. And then I feel this separation with Nigerians, because even when I visit, it's like, oh, the American girl, whatever, you know, I'm not fully anything. So that really was, I think as a teenager, that was what saved me, to make me feel like I belong somewhere
Yeah.
was looking at music videos and looking and just remembering my people. And now as an adult, it's just sort of in my veins. Like I'm.
We can tell. It's in there, girl. It's not going nowhere.
It's not going anywhere. It's part of who I am.
It's beautiful, and I think
Yeah.
you bring something so unique to the table. And obviously, you've just had your first lead role. We were talking more about that and
Yeah.
what it's like for a young girl like yourself to be able to explore these new worlds of film and acting overseas. I think it can pave a way for a lot of youngsters in Africa. So
Honestly.
we're going to get to that on the show today. I'm looking forward to
Yes.
having more catch-ups with you. It's such an incredible story to be shared. If you haven't yet found us on social, go and do that. Afternoon Express on Facebook. You can find us at Afternoon Chat on Twitter, and you can use that hashtag Afternoon Express. Share your thoughts. Say hi to our guests. What are you up to on this Monday afternoon? We'd love to be able to hear from you. We'll be back with more from Pepe later on in the show, but after the break, we chat to renowned South African poet and entrepreneur Bulelwa Base. And if you've ever wondered what I'd look like with a pair of boxing gloves, then stay tuned, because today I'm getting my schooling on in the ring.
Express yourself.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express. We're live on SABC3. Hope your weekend was absolutely amazing. Your week has started off on a very high note. This weekend, the presenter search on 3 auditions moved to Durban. This season is brought to you by McCafe and Capitec, and this weekend's auditions will be held at the Durban Exhibition Centre. It's happening on Saturday and Sunday, the 14th and 15th of April. Gates open at 8 a.m., so be sure to get there early and bring some snacks along with you, because it's going to be a long day. All you have to do is register at the gate and prepare a short link that will show the judges that you are ready to be the new face of SABC3 and perhaps the new face of Afternoon Express. There was honestly some great talent coming out of Cape Town last weekend, so Durban makes that you guys come ready to impress. For more details and a list of audition venues in a city near you, visit presentersearchon3.com. Step into the spotlight as South Africa's next TV superstar with Presenter Search on 3, proudly brought to you by Capitec and McCafe.
Own the SABC3 stage as the newest host of top billing Afternoon Express or the Expresso Morning Show.
The spotlight turns to Durban with auditions taking place on the 14th and 15th of April at the Durban Exhibition Centre. Gates open at 8 a.m.
Visit presentersearchon3.com for more details.
With SABC3,
The stage is yours.
Looking forward to seeing some of those impressive audition tapes of yours. Now, as you know, it's a Monday on Afternoon Express, and it's a Motivation Monday. Since the passing of Mum Winnie Madikizela Mandela last week, a powerful sentiment spread through society that she did not die, she multiplied. We're joined now by a woman who echoes those sentiments. Bulelwa Basa is a poet, entrepreneur, and a founder of an organization called Sisters in Solidarity, which empowers women through skills and career development, as well as financial education, which is crucial to the success in the modern world. Welcome to Afternoon Express.
Thank you, Danilo. It's so great to be here, although I really need to express that it's unfortunate that we actually have this interview under these circumstances.
Indeed. How do you feel about the passing of the Mama of Africa?
You know, Danilo, I'm still recovering, from the news. Mama was everything to us. I even posted on Facebook, when I first heard the news, that the nation feels like it needs to be held, for a really, really good cry. I remember when I first heard the news, I waited, well, obviously for the news, because I know Papa Mlangeni watches the news. And I phoned him and I said, Papa, how are you? And he said, my dear, I'm fine, except for the fact that Mama Winnie has left us. And it was quite a sobering moment. I was extremely gutted. This is a woman that I aspired to meet and converse with and to learn from. This is a woman who fought for, for the liberation of, some of us even before we were born. As we were having a conversation with you.
Yeah.
It's so unreal. And so what you've just said now, that she did not die, she simply multiplied. And indeed, she has multiplied, in a spiritual sense, in a physical sense, because Mama Winnie exists in our spirit, in our psyche, in our psychology, in our speech, in so many ways, on so many, on so many levels. And so when you ask me how I feel, I do not have the words to express how I feel about her leaving us. She has left us physically, but her spirit occupies our space constantly. And I think that is what we need to take from Mama. Mama gave of her life until her last breath. Mama gave us the example of what it means to embody and embrace your womanhood to its fullest. Mama did so many things. I don't want to go there because it will bring tears to my eyes, but my heart is sore, and I think the heart of many women in this country, they are mourning, and some of us are mourning in private spaces, and some of us are mourning in public spaces. And what Mama taught us is that it's okay as well to have these vulnerable emotions in all of these
scenarios,
in all of these scenarios. She was a fighter. She was mighty. She was a mighty warrior.
You talk about her living on beyond that. It's not about just living on or her passing. It's obviously her multiplying. And I don't think your life would ever have been the same unless it were impacted by her. So let's quickly talk for a moment about the project you're involved with. I'm dying to know more about Sisters in Solidarity, because it's just amazing. This is going to be what the legacy that she's going to leave behind through you.
Indeed. So, I mean, the name says it all. Sisters in Solidarity. It's about inculcating a culture where women are in support of each other, are sisters. And, when I speak of Sisters in Solidarity, firstly, let me speak about what Sisters in Solidarity is about. Sisters in Solidarity is founded on the idea that women need to be empowered. In fact, society, we understand, needs to be empowered, but primarily we need to focus on the empowerment of women, because women are the backbone of society. Let's face it, they are the fortress and the foundation of not even this country, but the world and the universe. And so when I started Sisters in Solidarity was fundamentally centered around the bottom line is we need to empower women economically. And the way in which we can do this is through skills transfer and capacity building workshops. And so I founded it in 2015, thinking to myself, I want to make a difference and an impact, but I also want to do it in community with other women. So I didn't want to do it individually.
Isolation.
In isolation. And so we do this through skills transfer and capacity building workshops, and we focus on how women can empower themselves economically, how to manage your finances personally and also professionally, how to budget, how to draw up a savings plan. And so when I started it, it was really about what commonwealth do we have? And what is the human capital amongst ourselves as women for the betterment and for the benefit of South Africa? But over and above that, it's also looking outside of just South Africa, but to be in community and do business with Africa, because we are Africans. We are not just South Africans. And I think when we begin to look at the world from that perspective, I think, boom.
The possibilities are endless.
Possibilities are endless, because we are pregnant with possibilities ourselves. The wealth of this country lies in our hearts, in our minds, in the palm of our hands, with what we can do. And so we need to actually go into our communities and make a decision, a decision which is on purpose, to say, what can I do? What gifts do I bring within my community and within society at large? And so that's and this speaks to what Mama, Winnie was about. You know, her name was Nomzamo, and she was not called Nomzamo for the sake of being called Nomzamo. She her efforts will be will be remembered forever. And the spirit of Sisters in Solidarity speaks to the idea of understanding the human condition. Mama Winnie was the most misunderstood human being, because she was no ordinary woman. And she was no ordinary woman because I think the way that I see her is that she was very focused, but the term that I'm looking for is that she was she was on purpose.
It was almost as though she was a hot knife cutting through butter. She didn't wait.
She didn't wait.
It was her truth would be spoken
indeed.
out.
And she had a mission in mind. She was very mission minded, more than she was stubborn. I think some of the universal myths are that she was a stubborn woman, but she was adamant in her purpose and her values and in all of that, in her independentness and thought, she was still able to be in community with other women.
It sounds to me like she lives in you. She lives in you. They've got the same mindset. And I would have thought it would have stopped at Sisters in Solidarity, but it doesn't. So tell us about Lyrical Base Project.
Lyrical Base Project is really about... it's a literary and performing arts organization. It's about creating a platform for artists, writers, performing artists, to hone their skill. But over and above that, it's to create a remunerative platform for artists.
Which don't exist.
We understand the struggles of being an artist, but that's where we also need to, have a construct which speaks to how artists can begin to empower themselves, to create opportunities for themselves, job opportunities for themselves, to be thought leaders, to be entrepreneurs in their various fields, in the crafts. And so when I founded Lyrical Base Project at the age of 26 in 2006, I decided that I'm tired of hearing the same narrative of the struggling artist. I think we need to change that narrative. We cannot wait on government to give...
Hand us a silver platter.
To give us artists state funerals. That narrative needs to end. And so it was about creating a remunerative platform for artists to say... Well, we can perform. We exchange our services for remuneration, for amongst ourselves as civil society, in the context of civil society, the public and the private sector. So this is where we need to dabble, and
I agree.
Is how we
and
need
it's
to
a narrative
think.
that's going to have to continue moving forward. And I wish we had a lot more time to be able to unpack the impact of these artists.
We cannot talk about this in 7 minutes.
You are like the epitome of what her legacy should be. So thank you for coming to share a bit of your story with us on Afternoon Express today. And if you're at home, obviously want to know more details, please go find them online. After the break, we continue to inspire you on this Motivational Monday, but we're turning our attention towards health and wellness. Professional boxer and chef Sterling Shaw shows me how to handle ourselves in the kitchen as well as in the ring. Stay tuned.
Get a taste of the smooth island life and win big with Tropica Island of Treasure Maldives. Buy a Tropica, follow the entry details on the pack, and you could win daily airtime prizes, Daniel Klein watches, American Tourista luggage for your next adventure, vouchers from loot.co.za to shop the hot daily deals online, and the grand prize of a Kia Picanto. For competition T's and C's, visit tropica.co.za. And don't forget to watch Tropica Island of Treasure Maldives every Monday at 7:30 p.m. on SABC3.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express. Yes, I have changed into the attire because things are about to change on Afternoon Express. Being an athlete takes dedication and discipline, but obviously the same can be said for people with demanding schedules. Balancing a healthy diet and getting enough exercise can be a mammoth task, but to help us with a little fitness inspiration today is Sterling Shaw. He's a pro boxer and instructor as well as a chef, and he's going to give us a boxing lesson before preparing a delicious meal packed with corn goodness. Welcome to the loft.
Hi.
I feel very intimidated standing in front of boxers all the time because it's such like a manly thing, and I always feel like I can't do that. I punch like I've never really learned to punch properly. So tell us about this lifestyle of a chef come boxer.
Look, it started with the boxing initially, and then when I kind of got out of that and then went into chefing. I think if anything, I enjoy the challenge. Boxing as well as the chefing, it offered quite a challenge to me, and I really enjoyed that. You have to be quite thorough with your when executing, whatever plate it is that you're putting together. And then again, you have to be quite thorough with your exercise, your regime that you're putting into whatever fight it is that you're doing.
Technique is so vital. One little centimetre, a little bit too skew can be a broken elbow. And
exactly,
and
and just you need to be humble, and you need to put your head down and get the graft in. That's what's most important.
Exactly. Another important thing about exercise that I've learned is that abs are made in the kitchen. So you've obviously got the exercise element and you've got the diet element as well. Was that inspired by your journey of going from chefing to boxing and boxing to chefing?
Look, when I met my wife, I was boiling chicken, broccoli, meat, everything. So I got over that cardboard taste and I went on to something a little bit more, flavorful. And being a chef helps, immensely, with regards to prepping my meals and putting things together.
And playing on with flavor, I'd imagine. You want to be able to keep a healthy lifestyle, but also eat delicious food.
Absolutely, And provided everything is well balanced, then, you're good.
The lifestyle of a chef is also like fast-paced. It's like moving. It's go, go, go.
100%.
Same thing in the ring. Like, where do you find time to rest, and how do you balance that busy life?
Look, I can't. I'm not a chef at the moment because I definitely not have time to do
imagine.
that. But for now, just training people and boxing is what I'm resorting to now at this point.
I'm a bit nervous, you guys, standing over here because I feel like this is the part where I have to go and show off. But would you mind showing me a little demonstration of some of the stuff that you do? Because
Let's get going.
ultimately, if we're going to eat on the show today, we've got to make sure that we also exercise.
You're
at the
doing
same
the
time
sweating.
too. Am I going to do the sweating today?
Yeah, I'll do a quick demo.
Can I steal my gloves as well?
Yeah.
I'll put those on in the meantime while you do this demonstration. There we go. Nice to have you on the show today. Good luck. Don't break his hands. Obviously, we're going to be showing you this kind of exercise on the show today, just so that if you guys are going to be making food with us, we want to show that even though you might be having a meat-free Monday, your nutrition is as vital as your exercise is. So let's get our heart rates up so that we can make sure we get the nutrition in afterwards. Go for it.
Right there. Yeah.
So that's a typical 1-2, 1-2. Okay, so this is just like a typical example of... I actually don't even know. I'm going to be making this up as I go. It should be like a ring fighter. Do you want to tell us what these moves are? No? No, he doesn't.
Okay, so this is a 1-2 lean back, straight hook, straight. So I use this combination. Firstly, I'll throw a 1-2 to Eric, and he'll counter. I'm just stepping out of range, out of range for that counter to make sure I can come back with my own. If I step too far, obviously, I'm not within range to counter for that.
Eric, do you think you can manage my fast wrist?
No, he's slick, he's got it.
Okay, do you want to put this on for me?
Yeah, sure.
I don't know how that works. First time having to put gloves this size on before. Clearly you can tell that I am not a boxer. Now what are we going to be doing today? What do I need to learn?
Okay, so first thing you're going to do, let's walk to that line. As soon as you get to that line, you're going to turn around.
Okay.
The first step that you take, that's the distance between your 2 feet.
Always.
Okay, a lot of people tend to stand a little bit wide,
Too
which
far
affects
away.
their range, yeah.
Okay.
So bring that foot right in. If you're right-handed, you're going to put your left leg forward.
Okay, I'm right-handed.
That's that. So this is a 1 and a 2. Or a jab and a cross.
So if you guys are just tuning into the show, obviously, I'm getting my heart rate up nicely so that after the break, what I can try and do is get some nutrition in using the delicious flavors of corn to make sure that on a meat-free Monday, I can replace all the energy that's used here. So
Exactly.
what am I doing, a 1 and a 2?
Okay, first thing, keep your hands up.
Oh,
okay,
heavens.
then you're going to go 1, 2.
Yeah, just a 1-2.
Yes, so across. Yes, that's it. Keep your hands up. Perfect.
Hands up over here. I was told that I don't punch very well. Like I punch like this.
No, you're doing great. You're doing great. That looks perfect.
Oh, I punch. Okay, so a 1 is always a cross on your left side, and then 2
across,
the other side.
yes, exactly.
Okay.
So what you can do is with this, when you throw your jab and you're straight, you can pivot your back foot.
Okay.
Just to generate more power and push it. Yeah, there we go.
Okay, so
That's
twist your
better.
wrist around. If you guys are doing this at home, obviously make sure that you guys are moving your hips around, make sure you guys get yourselves moving. That's the most important part. So 1, 2.
Yes,
1, 2.
that's better.
1, 2.
Keep your hands up. Keep your hands up. There
Hands
we go.
up. Oh, wow, you're going to take my face. Okay.
That looks great. You're doing fantastic.
All right, I've definitely worked up a bit of an appetite already, and I've only punched about 4 times. I think you guys are better than me, and I think I've earned my next meal. So coming up after the break, we're making a delicious pie made by Sterling himself, so you don't go anywhere. Joking. Well, welcome back to Afternoon Express. Back off. Obviously, the gloves are off for now. Our chef outfits are on, and we're about to make something delicious in the kitchen, so stay tuned. We've obviously worked up an appetite, and I think it's a good time to get cooking. If you're looking for a great meat-free Monday dish, we've got just the answer for you. Corn is a mouth-watering addition to any meat-free meal, and it's packed full of the goodness your body needs to perform. So let's see how Sterling has chosen to use it today. If you want this recipe, you're going to have to SMS the keyword dinner to 33650 at a cost of R1.50. Remembering that your free SMSs don't apply. Sterling, all right? Gentle
Okay.
in the kitchen, all right? Now we can take our...
So what I've done here is just
gentle
chopped up
cells.
some onions. Okay, so I'm just putting them on a high heat just so they can get a bit translucent. You can smell, it will start to release like quite a sweet smell.
It's like every Italian household smells like this every time you walk in. So
Exactly.
Very
Okay,
familiar
so
smells.
After this, what we're going to do is just add all of these spices and ingredients.
Cool. Talk us through them. What are they?
Okay, so this is ground, everything is ground here, ground coriander. Okay, coriander seeds, or any seeds.
Nice, yes.
That
And a
is
seed
lovely.
that's also nice and fragrant. It's got that very
Chili.
light smell.
Of course, chili.
Chili thrown in there, of course. What are
Chili
we
powder
making,
or
by the way?
paprika. It's a pie.
Okay, cool.
Sugar.
So paprika's gone in there. A little bit of sugar to bring in that sweetness.
Yes, and then we're going to zest, a bit of a zest of a lemon.
What about our garlic?
Yeah, we're going to get there, don't worry.
No, I was about to say, if you ever leave out the garlic in the dish, you're not welcome in my kitchen. I'll put on the gloves back again. And I'll take you out of the kitchen.
Okay, so we're just going to let all of this cook out.
Delicious.
The key is just to relax and let it all happen. Don't
Nice.
stress too much in the kitchen.
Yeah. You want to try and keep things as simple as possible. And he's combining all of these different ingredients into the pan now. And you can see that there's a nice mix there. There's a bit of hot, there's a bit of sweet, there's a bit of salty, there's a bit of spicy. You know, so it's got a bit of everything in there. And it smells already so fragrant.
Yeah, so what you want to do with this now is just cook them out a bit. I like to put them in first. Some people would add the mince and then put it in with it. But I like to just put it on a warm heat like this just to release a bit of the flavor.
Cool.
And then this flavor will essentially go into the mince.
So then we're using our corn mince. Obviously, meat-free Monday, so we're trying to find alternatives to using meat itself. And it's a great product, actually. It's soy-free, meat-free mince, and it's a really, really cool way to obviously incorporate this into your diet. Does it have the protein levels that you would need in any case?
Look, you would need, I think, if you're exercising a lot quite frequently, then you would need to add a protein substitute or a bit more protein because...
Or just have a really big portion.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
Yeah,
Cool.
That's
Love
what
it.
you could do. And the cool thing about it is that, you can cook it from frozen as well, so it's quite convenient if you're in a rush, you want to get going. You can just pop that in. So what I'll do is just cook this down a bit, release a bit of the flavor.
And the magic of TV is, ta-da! It comes out looking something like this.
And that's what it'll look like.
Okay, so this is obviously the mince cooked down. It's got all the different flavors in there. It's delicious, delicious, delicious. And then what happens?
Okay, so from here, this pie would come out of the oven. Okay, so in here we've got 4 cups of flour.
Cool.
4 cups of semolina flour or corn flour if you're from America. Sour cream, bicarb of soda, egg, and creamed corn.
Cool. By the way, obviously, if you guys are wondering, like, wait, I didn't get all of that, don't worry. You SMS the keyword dinner, you'll get all the details. Obviously, SMS that to 33650, you'll get all the details on your mobile device, so don't stress.
Okay, so I'm going to grab it with my fingers here. I'm going to grab these tomatoes, put them in. So I'm just going to leave a nice border around so it looks lacquer.
It's almost like you've got the basics of making a pizza you're making here. So you've kind of got the dough at the bottom, then you've got your tomato as well, which is obviously bringing in that nice, what do you call it, tartness, tanginess.
Yes, exactly. Then you're going to pop that mince on top.
Pop the mince on top, all inside like this, mix it around. There we go. I'll even use the spoon and just to flatten it out. Okay, all that.
Don't worry, fingers, it's okay, fingers, it's okay. Okay, then from here, just going to put the cream, sour cream over.
Cool. Thank goodness that you wash your hands after that session, because otherwise we would have trouble here.
Hey, I've got a 1-year-old baby. I take sanitizer with me everywhere. So I just put that stuff on everywhere I go. Right, then this on top.
Okay, a little bit of cheese to melt over. You see, it is basically like a delicious pizza with a thicker base. Yum, yum.
Okay, you stick that in the oven. Wait till it caramelizes about 10-15 minutes on about 180 to 185. And yeah, so
comes out looking something like that.
Yes, exactly.
Ladies and gents, how amazing does this pie look? Let's just take a moment for this. This will serve a family of like 10, or if you're bulking and trying to carbo load, this is the best way to make sure that you get in all of those protein bits on a meat-free Monday right here on Afternoon Express. Dude, well done.
Thank you so much.
Boxing to cooking, I think I can learn a lot from you. Listen, honestly, add corn to your recipe repertoire and you're sure to be a cooking master. It's all the protein goodness without costing you the earth. So here's a quick recap in case you missed anything. Delicious and perfect for this meat-free Monday. And speaking of, what is a Monday really without a nail-biting challenge on Tropica Island of Treasure, Maldives? You do not want to miss out on tonight's episode, as it's time to say goodbye to yet another team. Who do you think is the next to leave the island? You'll have to wait and see after another slender twist is revealed. The contestants give it their all as they try to save themselves from being sent home.
Tonight on Tropica Island of Treasure, Maldives. Go! Go, boys! Go, boys! The contestants are on a holy mission to get their hands on R1 million. Come on! In a waiting game that may be too heavy to handle.
This looks near impossible. I don't know if it actually can be done.
Tanya seems to have lost her bag right now.
30 seconds into the game and I'm thinking to myself,
Catch Season 8 of Tropica Island of Treasure tonight at 7:30 on SABC3. The stage is yours.
I love it. The drama is going to be incredible. I know you've set a couple of alarms and I know you don't need any more reminding, but we'll do it anyway. It's tonight for Season 8 of Tropica Island of Treasure, Maldives, 7:30 p.m. right here on SABC3.
Get a taste of the smooth island life and win big with Tropica Island of Treasure, Maldives. Via Tropica, follow the entry details on the pack and you could win daily airtime prizes, Daniel Klein watches, American Tourista luggage for your next adventure, vouchers from loot.co.za to shop the hot daily deals online, and the grand prize of a Kia Picanto. For competition T's and C's, visit tropica.co.za. And don't forget to watch Tropica Island of Treasure, Maldives every Monday at 7:30 p.m. on SABC3.
It's going to be a great episode, so make sure that you guys stay tuned because it's a Motivational Monday. And how cute is our little donut? I absolutely love having her on the show with us. Now listen, make sure that you connect with us on social media, perhaps for this cuteness or for one of our other guests that are on the show today. You can let us know what's keeping you motivated through the week. You can tweet us at Afternoon Chat using the Afternoon Express hashtag, or you can comment on our Facebook page as well. We're Afternoon Express. Now coming up after the break, we're back on the couch with Nigerian-born acting sensation Pepi Shonuga. So make sure you stay tuned. Well, welcome back to Afternoon Express. It's a motivational Monday on the show today. Thanks for all the love on social so far. Use the hashtag Afternoon Express and join the conversation. The show is all about expressing yourself, and we're so excited to have an incredible guest with us in the loft today. Obviously, we chatted to her early on about her early life, growing up in Nigeria, moving to the States to go and pursue her life there with her mom, and now is obviously an incredible actress. And woman, you are taking over the world. One step at a time. Peppy, let's quickly talk about what you're doing in Cape Town at the moment.
Yes.
So you just finished off a film.
Yes, I just shot a horror film called Leprechaun Returns. Leprechaun is a...
There was the first one, right?
Yeah, I would say a horror classic. It was starring Jennifer Aniston. It's an 80s film. And there's been many Leprechauns in between this one. But I think this one is very special because it's the only one that's directly continuing from the first one. So we have the same characters in it. And even the lead of this one, my co-lead, she's... Tara Spritler, she plays Jennifer Aniston's daughter.
Oh,
you know what I mean? So it's like a continuous thing.
Nice.
Yeah.
So Jennifer Aniston's out and Peppy is in the spotlight.
No!
How awesome. It's so good to have you in your first lead. I mean, for all actors, it's such a big thing for you is to try and take on that position where you are in the forefront of actually the film, leading that character that may need. What does that mean for you as an actor?
That means a lot for me because when I was starting my career, I definitely knew that I didn't want to be a token character or just a sideline character. But that's very hard. You know, there's still a lot of barriers in Hollywood. And, maybe it even slowed my career down sometimes, turning down certain roles and not doing certain things. And I definitely had people who told me, like, I have to, not really dim my light, but I was advised to dim myself more so that I can just fit in. Yeah. So I'm not, just fit in so I can get more roles. Yeah. But I just knew always that's not really what
you wanted to do and what you wanted to be and where you were going.
Absolutely.
I'm going to serve you dinner in the meantime because I know that obviously with all of the stuff that's going on the show today, there's been so much happening. We all need a little bit of sustenance.
It smells so good.
Yeah. So I really am intrigued to know about this life and what's going on in your world in Africa and the world of young women trying to break their way into this industry. And everyone is dying to make it in Hollywood, and it's just such a hard thing.
It's a really hard thing to make in Hollywood.
What has been your journey and what has been the learnings that you found making that transition?
The biggest thing for me is patience is so important, and hard work and talent beats absolutely everything. That's what I've learned. There are a lot of young people who believe in it's like a get rich quick, get famous quick scheme or something, and it never really works. I read an interview, I think it was Viola Davis and Denzel Washington talking about how they think young actors are more so gearing towards getting the next job.
Yeah.
And I sort of feel like I always thought of my career on the broad spectrum. I always saw the big picture. It's never about getting the next job. And that's why being on Famous in Love is so amazing, because now I have a steady paycheck while I can grow my talent more and grow myself so I can be ready.
That craft that you want to be able to,
Absolutely.
The creative
because
jobs.
Sometimes it's hard. When you don't have that steady job, you're just sort of like, I need whatever. I'm going to take whatever. So I'm lucky that I get to really... But, if I had any advice for young women, I would say that patience is so important, and you have to work hard, especially in our generation with Instagram and with socials. It's hard to...
Everyone's a celebrity now.
Everyone's a celebrity, and it's hard, especially living in LA. It's hard to not get caught up in that lifestyle. I don't go out in LA. I don't... like I said before, it's isolating. If you know you have a goal, especially fame in Hollywood, and wanting to have a message and have a platform, you have to be sort of isolated because it gets sucked in. Instagram isn't all about, that's not where it is.
One of the most powerful things that I ever learned as a TV presenter myself, especially going through the sort of auditioning phases and journeys, has always been to know that your friends are not the presenters on the show. They don't employ you. So don't try and make friends with all the socialites who are, Instagram famous. Find the producers and the directors and the casting directors who are going to get you the jobs to get the platforms. It's not about making the friends at the parties, to be honest. You might be seen with the right people, but they don't pay your check and they don't give you the job.
No. And really, all you just said, really, it's very important. And you have to know that, for me, in my perspective, as a black young woman, the barriers were so high and there were things stacked up against me. You have to be so good. You have to be better than the best. That's the only way you're going to get the role. Because when they wrote it, they already don't see you in it. So when you walk in, you have to knock it out of the park for them to be like, oh, okay, maybe we can see that. You know what I mean? So that's my advice for you. I really just want young women to empower themselves and to just be driven, you know?
It's always shocked people a little bit because I always say to youngsters who are trying to break into the industry, I'm not looking for you to be good because there are lots of good people out there, unfortunately. I'm looking for you to be great. You know, really stand out and do something amazing with your life. You know, be somebody who is extraordinary because there are lots of good people out there, you know?
So we have one life.
Exactly.
Why not? It blows my mind because I feel like I might as well just shoot for the stars. Why not? Dream the biggest dream. And if you don't get it, at least you dreamed it. You worked for it.
What do they say if you shoot for the stars? If you miss, you hit the moon or something. That's a school anyway.
That's it.
Now listen, I'm intrigued by your journey back home. I think there's a big love for you wanting to take this message back to young women at home.
Yes, definitely.
What's the plan? Like, how are you hoping to empower women in Nigeria?
Let me tell you my whole plan.
Dum dum dum. 10 steps.
It would be a dream to sort of, you know, put a stamp in Hollywood, build myself up, get respect there. And I would love to come back here and have a movie studio, build a movie studio, create my own films, be in control of my own films, expose the world to real African talent. I would love to, you know, especially in Nigeria. Nollywood is amazing. They're huge, they're killing it, proud. But I feel like, again, that's just the dreamer in me. Why can't we win the international film section at the Oscars? You know, I want us to be competitors. Africans should be competitors. And coming to South Africa has completely blown my mind because I've got the warmest welcome from, you know, my people, and it's just so beautiful. You guys are so warm and just the studio right now, so talented young people. So I really just want to encourage all of us Africans to do our own thing, to come together, South Africans, Ghanaians, Nigerians, let's come together and let's really just make it great.
Make something amazing that we can really continue to put ourselves on the map. Because I mean, clearly the attention is here. Everyone's like waiting for something to come. So perhaps you could be that reason people do take us overseas, you know, take these amazing concepts overseas. Right, we've obviously got to almost wrap up the show, and I'm just very keen to know more about what the big plan is moving forward from your career perspective, because obviously you're in the spotlight, everyone's watching you, what's going to be happening next? Is there a dream role for you? Is there something in the pipeline that we can look forward to? Is there like a, I don't know, Black Panther #2 coming out that like would be your dream?
I wish. Ryan, call me. I will be in Black Panther 2 if you call me. No, but you know, there are definitely things, and I've just finished this film right now. I have about 3 films I think are coming out next year.
Hectic.
Yeah, really projects that I'm really, really excited about. I'm moving into a new phase in my career where I am getting more leading roles, you know, or more screen time. So I'm very excited. But a dream role for me, you know, I'm so open. There's so many different things that I would love to do in my career. I would love to do a really strong indie, just something that's raw, especially because Famous in Love, it's so glam and beautiful. I would love to do something that really just showed people that I'm here for real, you know, and I care about the art.
We care about your art as well. We're just so proud of you and cannot wait to follow your journey online. Please, more dance moves on Instagram.
Oh, they're coming.
Guys, she has like the most incredible Instagram account. If you haven't had a chance yet, go and find her online. And those dance moves, breaking it down, trust me, we can learn a thing or two here. I mean, like some of those people we've seen on our red carpets as well. We're like, oh Lord, you know, you can bring something so awesome to this table. So it's been really cool to have you. Thank you for joining us today.
So much, Delina.
Yeah, and go check out her films, guys. They're amazing. Tomorrow it's time for another edition of the Afternoon Express Cook Along. So make sure that you guys catch tonight's edition of Tropic Island of Treasure Maldives as well, because our special guest will be the team eliminated from this week's episode. No clues there. You're gonna have to wait to see who it will be. You'll have to wait tonight 7:30 on SABC3 to find out more details. That wraps up a Motivation Monday on Afternoon Express today as we celebrate the life of Mam Winnie, who has incredibly inspired young women in South Africa and Africa as a whole, and we have living examples in the loft today. Have a good night, South Africa, and happy eating. Bye.
This is amazing.
Afternoon Express, made with love by Clover.
Another feel-good production.